I'm immigration lawyer Mark Northam.
And I'm migration agent Monica Gruszka.
And on this week's episode of Coming to Oz, we're going to talk more about our special focus on South Australia.
Specifically, the general requirements, because in the last show, we did a bit of an overall for anyone who is going to become an international graduate within South Australia.
Stay tuned and learn more about South Australia.
Welcome to Coming to Australia with Mark Northam and Monica Gruszka, the show for people looking to get a visa and come to Australia. We'll talk about the latest Australian immigration regulations, strategies for getting visas and much more, including your questions. Information discussed on Coming to Australia is not intended as legal advice or immigration assistance and is current as of the date of the show's production. However, as migration law frequently changes, you should always refer to updated information. And now, from Sydney, the hosts of Coming to Australia, immigration lawyer Mark Northam and registered migration agent Monica Gruszka.
Welcome to this week's episode of Coming to Oz. We're going to be continuing our special two-part episode on South Australia. It's part of Australia, it's a state in Australia that has some special requirements and some special benefits for people who want to come here and live. It might be something you want to look at if you're looking at coming to Australia, because while many of the states are making it more difficult to get in, South Australia appears to be going the other way.
Well, this has just come out quite recently, and we just did discuss, obviously, in the previous show, the overall requirements if you are an international graduate in South Australia. So what we're going to do is we're going to go further on, because we talked about, you know, your commitment to South Australia. You need to have financial backing. You obviously need to have a skills assessment. You need to have English, and, you know...
well, those are the immigration department requirements. Let's also take a look at South Australia's requirements, because in many times, you know, we ended the last show talking about skills assessments, and what many people don't realize sometimes until they get into this further is that the skills assessor's requirements can be more difficult than the immigration department's requirements.
You and I know that,
or
Mark.
the state's requirements. So have a look at this in the skills assessor's requirements. How many times have skills assessor's particular requirements just mucked up people all terribly?
It does. So my advice is, if you focus on initially getting the right skills assessment, doing that first, then the rest is easier. Because I tell my clients all the time, I call it the golden ticket. You know, Willy Wonka.
Yes, the golden ticket, the chocolate factory. That's right.
I always refer to a positive skills assessment as a ticket from Willy Wonka.
Well, that's
the golden ticket.
That's it.
Because that will open up. If you fail on English, at least you have a positive skills assessment, and you can keep trying the English until you
take
get
a course or do something like that.
Exactly.
The skills assessment, if you fail at that, it is often not fixable. And that's why you may want to consider thinking, look, don't wait till you're ready to graduate to look at the skills assessment requirements.
Start looking now.
That's right. When you're in the middle of school, look before you come. Because if you can plan ahead and strategize that, it'll help you get a visa for Australia.
You sounded like, that was really good what you just said, the art of war. The Art of War.
Well, that's right. Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu, The Art of War. It was very good.
Amazing book. Well, every battle is won or lost before it is fought, because...
Yes.
Remember that one?
That was really good.
Well, that's
true. That's like lodging a visa.
That's right. Every visa is granted or refused before it is lodged.
That's it.
Because have you done your English? Have you done all the things you need to do during school and work experience for your skills assessment?
That's it. So remember, skills assessment, Willy Wonka, golden ticket. All right.
What about the general requirements for South Australia?
Okay, so let's move forward now.
And this is the 489 visa or the 190 visa. They're both the state-sponsored visas. The 489 is a provisional visa.
Correct.
190 is a PR visa.
That's right.
Over to you, Monica.
Here I go. So when you are looking at graduating in South Australia, the most important thing is, number one, your South Australian qualification must be in the same field as your nominated occupation. So I am seeing people studying something like, I'm going to study leadership.
Basket weaving?
Basket weaving, leadership and management or something like that, and thinking they can do the rest of the course in South Australia. However, that is not, you might be an engineer at home, or you it has to be, for example, if you were doing your Masters of Accounting, then you finish your course, the rest of the 50% in South Australia, in accounting. So you're going to nominate an occupation in accounting. It must be in the same field. A lot of people I'm seeing are studying things that are not the same as a nominated occupation.
You've got to be strategic when you choose a
Yes.
college degree.
Yes.
I can't tell you, education agents are wonderful folks. We have many good friends who are
Yeah,
education
and we even
agents.
have a forum out for education
That's it,
agents.
our education agent forum. And, you as a student, it behooves you to have a look and think ahead about what type of a degree you want to get. It should be, of course, something you want to do, but you should
Important.
check out the immigration options.
Yes.
There's a fantastic website called ANSCO Search.
ANZCSOSEARCH.
Almost. ANZSCO.
That's what
Did
I
you say
said.
CSO?
No, I didn't.
You said CSO.
Did I really?
Anyway.
Anna, did I say it? That's our producer.
All right.
Yes, she
Anna
did.
Carolina Salas said.
Well, that's a
all
long
well,
one.
close
ANSCO
enough.
Search.
We will put it in the show notes. Now, ANSCO Search is run by a lovely person over in Portugal
Yes.
named Raul. Hats off to Raul.
You know what? And as migration agents, whenever we're doing consultations, the best way of accessing the immediate information for anyone that says, I'm an audiologist or I'm an engineer, we use
ANSCO Search.
So
check it out.
Check it out.
And it's free. Come on.
Oh my God, that wasn't even, we didn't
plan that, did we? ANSCO Search is amazing.
Yeah.
And check it out. And we'll do it together.
We'll get
ANZSCO.
SCO and then search.
.com.
Yeah, have a look. It's a fantastic website.
You can see which occupations work for which visas.
Yes.
You can see the caveats, all kinds of inside
What did you
agent
say?
stuff. What?
Caveats.
Caveats.
Caveats. Yes, we'll talk about that in another.
Like caveman. All right, got it.
Yeah, that's it. Caveats.
All right, very good.
So, all right.
Please continue.
Please continue. All right. So we said you've got to be studying something that's in the nominated occupation.
No switcheroonies
No
on the occupations.
switcheroonies. You either study something that's on the list, but you cannot change it in between.
And by the way,
Yes.
you mentioned leadership and management. Can I just say, in my humble opinion, it is a useless degree.
People come
What
here
does
because
it qualify
it's cheap.
you for?
Well, it is
Where's
cheaper.
leadership and management on the occupation list?
That's right.
It's not there.
And also, leadership and management is not going to get you a 485 visa.
It's not going to get you nothing.
Nothing.
It's a mess.
It is.
So think
Yeah.
of something that is more specific about skills.
Nurse, carpenter, bricklayer,
Accountant.
engineer, accountant. They're occupations. It's like you need to study something that is an occupation. Leadership and management is a wonderful course to come to Australia.
Later on. Do it later after you
Exactly.
have your core bachelor's degree in something that's good on the list.
I wouldn't be doing any. If I had a core bachelor's degree, I wouldn't be doing anything
Leadership
after
and
that.
management, well.
So now we're going to
continue.
move forward to krikos, the wonderful word of
Krikos.
krikos. Krikos.
Here we go on the pronunciation
There we
again.
go. So make sure.
What is Krikos? Explain
Krikos?
Krikos.
You have to make sure that your South Australian qualification must be a Krikos registered with a minimum duration of 1 academic year, non-negotiable. Remember this number. 1 academic year is 46 weeks. If you are short, finito la musica.
I like that.
So remember that. Krikos means
Finito, end of the music.
it's
Is
end
that
of the
right?
music. So yeah, it must be Krikos registered, which means
Krikos-
it's availability for it.
Krikos, for the rest of us, CRICOS,
Yes.
is the Australian agency that accredits all degrees. To get a student visa, you must be studying at a Krikos course. And if you go to the Krikos website, Krikos website at krikos.com.au or whatever it is.
Krikos.deer.gov.au.
That's a long one.
That's
Anyway,
right. I'll
just
let you
Google
off that
Krikos.
So you will check. You will
It'll tell you
always
the
be able
number
to
of
see.
hours of your particular degree. You look up the institution, the degree, it'll tell you the number of hours.
Absolutely.
46 is the number.
46, and your education advisor, if you are using one, will be able to confirm that with you.
Get it in writing.
That I always. So your COE will say that Krikos registered.
Yep.
And the duration of the course you're doing.
What
Now
else?
the second part is that if you decide to come from Sydney or New South Wales, for example,
Interstate.
and you go, right, oh, I heard about South Australia. if I do the remainder 50% or more of my course in South Australia, will I be able to access a wider variety of the list? That is true. So
50%, that's the number.
50%, which means check your COE, your confirmation of enrolment, to confirm that the remainder of your course is legitimately and mathematically 50%. If it is 1 week short, your visa will be refused.
So it doesn't work.
It doesn't
For
work.
South Australia will say we're not interested in you.
South Australia said, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's not. Australia. Remember that essentially for these visas, there are 3 different groups of requirements, and they're all separate.
Yes.
There's the skills assessment requirements. There's the state's requirements that Monica's going into in detail, and there's the immigration department's requirement for the visa. 3 different sets of rules.
It's crazy.
It's
because
crazy.
you
It's
need
hard.
to be absolutely. You
What's up with
must
that?
be able to line everything up. If this is something that you're doing on your own, you must be able to make sure that everything lines up together. You have the state, you have the regional certifying body, you have skills assessors, but there are so many other variables, and if they don't line up, the application will be refused.
So remember, for any application, figure out what are the groups or the associations or whoever you need to satisfy. You need to make them happy.
Yes.
Figure out what the rules are. Most of the time, the rules are on their website.
Correct.
They may be a little complex and
They
hard
are
to
complex.
follow, but
if
can
you
do it.
don't know, pick up the phone and ask.
Yep.
Contact the state. You know, the states are really easy to deal with. I always contact them if I have a
they're nice.
question. The RCB or the regional certifying bodies are so wonderful. So the customer service for the states, I think, are very, very good. So,
That's
yeah.
great. We have
All
a
right.
few minutes left.
We have a few minutes left.
Other requirements.
Other requirements are that if you are currently residing offshore, you can access these occupations if you have minimum a bachelor degree or higher in South Australia and have met the general work experience requirement as per nomination work experience Schedule 5. So we're getting very
my
complicated.
goodness.
So that's another part. I think we're going to have to do that in another show because there are many exceptions to the rule.
South Australia has one of the most complex set of rules for state sponsorship that
Correct.
we've run across.
Absolutely.
There's no way to avoid going to the website and working through your particular scenario, your degree, your work experience, where did you get your degree, where have you lived,
Yes.
what is your occupation, all
Yes,
of that.
all those
You
things.
just have to work it through step by step by step by step. It's the good news about South Australia is they are making it easier to go
Yes.
there. They're creating more opportunities. But
Yes.
the website is complex, and
It
that's the bad
is.
news is you've got to work through it.
So that's why we're doing this podcast. Now, Mark, if anyone has a specific question that they want to ask,
Yep.
where do they go?
If anyone has any questions or if we can help you with a visa, please let us know. You can send that to info@migrationresources.com.au. Now, if you can't remember that, that's okay. We'll make sure in the show notes there's a link.
Absolutely.
And those emails come to both Monica and myself.
Yes.
So we're happy to help you with any visa questions you have. It's what we do.
Exactly. Happy to answer anything. So drop us a line, an email, and we look forward to hearing from you and hopefully lodging a visa or you lodging your own visa and getting a grant.
That's fantastic. There's nothing that makes our days happier than to
Absolutely.
be able to call a client and say,
Your visa has
has
been approved.
Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us on
you.
Coming to Oz. I'm Mark Northam.
I'm Monica Gruszka.
We'll see you next time.
See you then.